Hello, everybody. We are back. Lucas of Lucasgvariety is here with my friends to play Dungeon World by Adam Koebel and Sage LaTorra. This is our session number 2, and this is Dungeon World. Our campaign is called Indigo Magic. Look up the Workaholics Wizard rap group, Purple Magic. It's my inspiration there. Anyway, today, let me check my phone, is June the 9th, 2020, and we're going to jump right back into the action in just a moment. But what I'm asking is our players to do recaps within character as much as they want. And this week, we've chosen the Reaper to give us the little recap of what happened last time, which was mostly a building episode, but we still got a little bit of role play at the end, and it was delicious. It was a great setup. So anyways, I'm done talking. I'm going to pass it over to Alavara, and then we're going to get started.
So last week we were hired by the wizard to find his amulet that was taken yet again. He has misplaced it who knows how many times at this point. It was stored away in a dungeon filled with undead. I spoke to a number of undead and essentially got the layout of the dungeon and the location of the amulet. I can't think of anything else pertinent.
It sounds like the Reaper. Sounds like she's exactly in character as herself. All right, perfect. Yeah, that's it. Zorm, son of Zorm. His big Z pendant, as I was trying to click here. Big flashy around his neck. Onyx color. Platinum trim. He's a little befuddled. I draw inspiration from many different characters for this, up to and not excluding my own grandfather, as well as Fizzbond from the Dragonlance series, as well as Mr. Magoo and Inspector Clouseau, among others. There's many inspirations to this character. Anyway,
this explains so much.
Oh yeah. So now my top 2 players on your overlay there, they've been in my Blades in the Dark game, and they've experienced Zorm, son of Zorm, in another world. So
I've been Zorm.
His worlds may change, but he does not. Anyway, I've used enough time beating around the bush. Let us go over to roll 20. Everybody else is already there.
I know of a Zorm.
Oh, another Zorm, son of Zorm. Or wait, no, Zorm, brother of Zorm? I don't remember.
I don't have enough pieces of guitar for this nonsense. let's move on.
Alrighty. We are in the dungeon called the Dark Tunnels. Now, Zorm had told you that his Kragan had taken it and hid it on him. That's what he said this time. And so he was hiring you. Whatever you find, you keep. He just wants the pendant. Plus, he'll pay you handsomely upon your return. So equal shares to all. I think we have that correct, right? So when we came into the story last time, you had fought your way past a couple. This is how we kind of came into the story. You killed a couple giant spiders, and then you just got into this room that you're in now, and you got past a pit trap, and then you came into this room and got attacked by all these skeletons in this crypt. And I've changed a couple things up, and a little bit from the questions that the Reaper asked me last week, because she spoke to Dead at the end of that. And you had asked 3 questions. She had said, what other traps may we encounter in here? And I have kind of changed them up since then. But basically, she said the skull said the corridor you take to the east splits into 2 corridors, and there's a trap down each one. You asked what other undead are here, and it said 9 others, aside from all the skeletons you just broke apart. And where's the Z pendant? And that led to the northern chamber, off where you guys are now. Of course, the red line is the walls. So I think that's it. You see in this room, there's 3 large pillars holding it up. Bones everywhere. And 3 large tombs, or caskets, sarcophagi, whatever you want to call them, sit here. You hear various creakings. It smells very musty, very undead. Your weapons smell like spider guts, if you didn't clean them off. Old bone dust, dried marrow. I didn't think about it, but someone maybe has a torch because you would have to have a. Like, we won't charge a use of backpack or anything. But anyways, you guys have just talked. These skulls, the life that was in that skull. What color was your magic? Was it like a bluish, white or something, Alavara?
It's like a
It
purple
was purple.
Bluish,
indigo, yeah.
Indigo.
Yeah.
Like the
That's
picture.
weird. I like.
How strange.
It's like indigo.
Also, nobody needs to expend a torch or anything, because I will just say that Ralph thought ahead, and his runic enchantment for his staff right now is the sun enchantment, aka it's a big torch right now.
I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure I have a light cantrip, but I don't have my book open at the moment.
That's okay. So far, you know, you could have cast it as well if you want to have something also like well ahead of coming in. But
Yeah.
let me tell me, Ralph, what is your staff look like? What material is it made of? What's its carving or engravings? Like what do we see as this thing is glowing like the sun in your hands?
So the staff relatively looks plain at first glance. In fact, as like it looks pretty much like if somebody had just picked up a scrapped rod out of a metal shop. But then as you go up, it starts to widen out, and you can see where it's almost like a flat face plate going up into, and then a big old, and then so up a little bit, so giving me a flat surface to scribe runes on in chalk, and then a big old circle at the top. So it's an open face
Like-
circle.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, just a little bit like a Shinto monk staff kind of thing, except without the added rings to it.
Okay.
So just it all looks like it's made of some sort of metal. No one can really quite put their finger on it. It's just kind of dull gray
Okay. And
and
not
heavy,
and glowing like the sun at the moment.
and glowing like the sun, because I have runic weapon as a move.
Mm.
Let me.
As he's putting that up, Alavar, did you put your light cantrip on anything?
I actually forgot cantrips don't exist, but I do have one of her first level spells is called Corpse Lantern, which is a spiritual lantern from beyond the black gates, which floats nearby you. It gives off no heat or sound and requires no fuel, but is otherwise like a mundane lantern.
Is that currently cast?
I can cast it.
No, you don't have to cast it now. You could have already cast it before you came in. I'm just asking if it is.
True. Yeah, it would be.
Okay. All
And I can control the color. It's her the color of her magic, so it gives off like a light
So
purple cast to everything.
we have a large sun, wah, and then a large violet indigo, wah. So kind of this mixture of bright purple kind of shades the room just a little bit. It looks awesome.
Sounds awesome.
Mr. Ralph.
And
All
it mine lasts until the next dawn.
Okay.
Mine lasts as long as I keep that rune there.
Also, as long as you're both alive, let's just.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I'm just gonna keep saying
Just
it.
throw that in there.
Anyway, so you have your questions you ask the dead. You all slew some skeletons. You put their souls to rest, Reaper, and you're all there. I think you should have control of your characters. Not that it really matters because it's not like I said D&D where we have tactical movement. But what do you guys do now? You've been in here. Let me remind you that your magic was working good, but you feel that whoever casts magic, the three of you at least out of four, your magic has been feeling a little odd. Happened, just a little off. A little harder to cast, maybe a little. Feels just a little weird.
Tap tap.
Oh yeah, I do have that in my notes. Magic is weird.
Yes.
That's what I have written down.
On top of it.
Magic's a little weird.
So, I will turn it over to you guys as I ask, what are you going to do now?
Let's continue to the north.
You sure we shouldn't check the sarcophagi?
Let the dead rest.
I'm more than happy to. I just would prefer them not to pop out like a Jack in the Box or a Karen.
If it happens, we will take care of it. For now, let them rest.
Cecil wheels around as he's looking towards the group, and he turns around and she said, "Leave him alone," to one of his guys. They're like trying to peek under. He's like, "Boom."
These minions. What a flavor.
The Overlord!
Oh,
It's apparently not his turn with the brain cell.
They don't get turns. I'm sorry, what?
Cecil. All right, this is good. See you. What are you guys doing? You heading north? Going south? Checking stuff out? What do you think, Benny?
Currently, I'm sticking with the Reaper's words.
Yep.
We should carry on, leave the dead where they lay.
Alrighty. Sounds perfect to me. Reveal area, as I'm using this fog of war here. Does that show up to you guys?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I see it great.
All right.
Yes.
So, as you come up a little closer, you find this pathway is barred by a large iron grating. There is low, well, you're not really sure. The next room, if it looks strange or feels strange, something, you're not sure. But you get this huge iron gate here with basically a big lock, standard dungeon stuff, in the middle, with quite a large sized door. And it is definitely shut and looks secure from where you're standing. Hey, come here, cat. Game Master needs his cat. 1 second.
Understandable.
I summon cat to do my bidding. Wrong, you fool. Cat has summoned you to do her bidding. Oh, yes. Anyway, so there you go. That's the situation thus far.
Like, Ralph will go up to it. He'll tap it with his staff, and it probably rings back metallic. It's like, well, this is a pain. I don't suppose anybody brought explosives or anything like that.
Possibly don't need any.
Ooh.
As Benny proceeds to pull out his white violin.
Oh.
If I strike the right chord, perhaps it will release itself.
Ooh.
And he's going to do, let's see, arcane art, where he's going to attempt to basically do the plus D4 forward damage to the lock.
Oh, okay. So you're gonna, okay. You're doing the arcane, what was it again you say?
The arcane art, where I weave a performance into a basic spell. Oh, this is actually me choosing an ally to do it, so that actually completely botched that.
That's okay. Well, your magic is more utility.
It's more utility. I just completely misread that one little part.
Well, here's the thing, though. If someone else decides to go and try to smash the lock or blow it, you can still do this to give them an assistant, so you can see what they're gonna do. I mean, not to retract far, but you get your violin out. You can be like, as an example, like if anyone else wants to take it out, I can help make it so, or whatever, right? But that's fine. This is your thing. I've seen other people play bards, and this is something that they use a lot. So this could be useful here. But I guess, oh, go ahead.
I just misread it. I'll still go with it, but I misread the ability. I'll just own up to that.
No, you're fine. We're all doing this together.
I sit back and start slowly strumming the first chords to Danse Macabre.
Okay.
All right.
What are the rest of you doing?
Well, Cecil's going to turn around real quick, and he's like, "There's a gate up here. Get in order. Get you." And he starts pointing out minions to roll for his horde.
Okay. Benny, are you going to do this ability now, or are you waiting?
I will do it now.
All right.
Second, 3 horde.
So you rolled.
Go ahead and help that horde.
You rolled a 12.
Yeah. So get 3 horde. I need to.
Oh
There needs to
man,
be a place on the sheet to write that down.
all these lycanthropy-looking, half-looking folk are all lining up. Some are stunted, some are tall, some are lanky, some are just kind of furry. And anyway, so and they all line up. They're just like,
Right there.
imagine like Ed from The Lion King. Some of them, when he's got the blank expression during the "Be Prepared" sound, and Scar's just like, and he's just, I don't know why. I love it.
You said Ed, and my mind went to Ed, and Eddie, and I'm like,
Same.
yeah, that's how I
Same
picture his
difference.
horde.
Not the same.
Okay.
Same difference.
I wish I had 4 stomachs.
Very similar.
I
Very
make a
similar.
good
All of that
shovel.
then.
404 brain cell not found.
So after he like gets their attention, he turns around and is like, I can throw these guys at it if you want.
I mean, I don't have a better solution.
All right, roll me plus charisma, Benny.
How do I do that in roll 20 again?
Just click on where it says charisma 2, or like in the circle.
The
Should
circle.
yeah, I just rolled. That doesn't count because I rolled it for you. But where it says charisma, up in your 6 stats
Main page.
of your character.
You're talking to somebody who's
Not
not
that-
seen this in 2 years. Not seen
Yeah.
this.
You have your character sheet pulled up?
I do now.
Oh well,
That
There you
might
go.
be a good first step.
boom, 10,
Hey.
10 plus.
Benny.
Tell us what your magic looks like if we see it at all, and what ability you pick to give to Cecil's minions, I guess.
Well, giving to Cecil's minions the ability, like I said, to give plus 1d4 forward damage.
Okay.
Considering I'm thinking they're wanting to bash through the thing. He begins to play on his violin, and this soft yellowish magic
Yellow.
comes out and seems to swirl around the minions and then enters into their ears and into their brains, and their eyes turn that same soft yellow as they become propelled to go forward with more momentum.
It's a whole line of minions that are just lined up, like all the Eds.
Yep.
And now their eyes just went shh.
So now I need to roll for the master to see if they actually carry out my orders or they horribly botch it.
So what are your what are your orders? Let's ask that. What do we see as the magic settles into them?
He's gonna turn around and watch for a second. He's like, he's gonna look over at the bar and he's gonna look slowly at them. Nods, and under his breath, the closest person here, they didn't explode this time. And then take out that gate.
And they
And
just
he'll literally almost jump out of the way as they run forward because he does not trust them. They might explode in his mind.
they smash their
And-
face.
I could almost imagine like 2 of them pick up the third guy to use as battering ram.
I'm going to spend all 3 horde on this.
Oh wow, what's that do?
So it just adds to my roll. Because it's just a blank. It's a 2d6 plus how much I spent on it. And since this is just an attack action,
And before you roll,
And
I want to draw your attention to the aid or interfere roll that move that is in the bottom right of that handout of basics. You can help someone or interfere with someone if you want when you roll your bond with them. So however many bonds you have with them, 1, 2, or 3, you can roll plus that many to see if you aid them. Of course, that's always a risk to you. I don't want to interrupt the flow too much, but I just want to introduce that. Like if someone else wants to jump in or do anything, you don't have to now, but that is something that can be done. So anyways, I'll shut up now. Back to sound waves.
I'm going to go ahead and do the +3 to the initial roll, simply because they don't normally have a direct damage ability.
It'd probably be your damage, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm assuming for this particular instance, because that's kind of because there's the statement is on a 10+, they do it flawlessly. 7 9 complications, you get what you want. 6- they fail and I have to intervene. When your minions join you in combat, then you get to spend horde on special effects if your roll succeeded. But they're not really doing combat. We're just telling them, attack this gate,
Yep.
hit it. Basically, smash yourself against this fence.
Hit it with your face really hard several
Run
times.
at that.
It's real hard.
Ah! All right, go ahead and roll it. I'm assuming that's your plus your int or charisma or whatever it is. Oh, nice.
So
For the
they do it
master.
flawlessly. And I got, what, a plus 1d4 on my damage right now?
Yep.
Correct.
Plus 1d4.
So let's see if that works.
What do you roll there? Charisma or int or wisdom?
I rolled something wrong. So I rolled a 6 on a d8 and it didn't roll the 1d4 extra. So let me just do this
Okay.
here and just boop, change it to d4. So a total of 10.
Very nice. Hey,
Talk about XP with me. I don't want any XP.
Oh man, of course. I didn't have. Oh, I was like, is that my baby crying? No, it's just the music in my ears. Creepy.
Baby's crying.
Just-
I'm on it.
Just
I'm always on
the
my tiptoes.
music.
Thank you, Flubadub, for the subscription at tier 1. Thank you very much for the support, buddy. I appreciate it. Let me get back to quit confusing people. Okay, so Cecil, describe the action. I was putting it in my head. This lock almost goes all the way. It's hanging in there by a thread, so you can tell me what it looks like as they go at this thing.
Well, one of them is literally hanging off the lock by his mouth. Another one is literally jumping up and down, while the other one is punching it with his fist from below. It's weird that all three of them are doing this coordinated action, and it's actually having some effect. Like, if you were watching this from afar, you'd be like, "That's never going to." Oh my God, it's cracking.
At some point when he's once biting down the lock is the same moment he's coming down with his feet. At the same moment it's getting hit, and all that pressure at once seems to go, and I would say it looks like it's about 75%, 80% just busted, but it's just busted enough that you can't just push it open. It's still kind of stuck. It needs to be finished off, but it's just a loud as the iron begins to split. It just echoes. But since you guys are all rolling 10 plus, there's no consequences. So everything, of course, is perfectly fine in this dungeon called the Dark Tunnels. Very well done. Olivera, you're watching this action
Yeah.
as they do your bidding. Like, I think you're the overlord of the overlord. But anyway.
He's like looking around the corner. They didn't explode. This is new.
I think
They always exploded before I told them to do something.
I feel like when the iron cracks as well, like breaks a little bit, we see like a spark of like yellow magic flitter off. Just to add
From
that
the
effect.
bar?
Yeah, the bard's magic that was in them as they all strike it, like the power transfers, and this yellowish puff comes out of the lock.
He's still like, he's smiling really wide, like oddly enough, like he's excited for this predicament. Thanks, Bard. That last week one of them exploded when I told him to open the keg that was for the bar. This is awesome. Are you guys seeing this? They're actually doing it.
Actually
They're
kind of
useful.
I'm actually kind of disappointed they didn't blow up. That might have done it the last bit.
He leans back. He's like, yeah. And then he looks at the
Oh, bugger. Do I
girl.
need
She
to
goes,
move?
he looks at her and he goes, I don't think she would be happy if they just exploded, though.
Yeah.
She
As
thinks
would
they're
I,
people.
considering I'm
He
still
stage
standing
whispers
by the
very
lock.
loudly to Exos across the dungeon. She thinks they're people.
I think they're a nuisance.
Oh, they are. But they're my nuisance.
Alrighty.
Anyone else care to have a strike at it?
Not a fighter in the group. Or a thief.
Now you know what my other concept is.
Well, at this point, Ralph is like, okay, let me look at this thing.
You just
His
you
group.
hear-
Stymied by a lock.
And he's gonna be like, maybe. And we watch him literally just pop his staff up. He's grabbing the edge and he's going to baseball swing with his staff.
Am I able to aid him?
Mm-hmm. However many bonds you have with him. Like, one or
I mean, technically I don't.
Well,
the actual bond.
We have one.
He has one with me, but I haven't had time to create them yet.
Well, that'd be your bond with him. If you have something you want to write down right now, you can have a +1 to the roll. Otherwise, it's just a straight 2d6.
I'll take the straight 2d6 for now.
Okay. So Ralph's about to baseball swing. I feel like, because your father's picture, right? Like kind of like in the Harry Potter movies, that moves that's on the back of your cloak, right? Or your robes.
Yeah.
It's like, you just hear him like, Cecil, is this the best method to repair? I feel like I've taught you better. You know, maybe he's saying things like that. Uh-oh.
Yep, there's the XP.
Mark 1 XP and tell me what you tried to do to assist him.
I tried to walk up
Later,
and smash
Flub.
it with my mace.
Okay.
I just hit the gate. Or whatever you do.
You hit it very much wrong. And it just, like, it echoes and it jars your hand like this. You know, just because you hit it way off. You know how when you're using something metal and if you hit something else that's just right, it just jars your hands or whatever. It does that, and you're like, ah, like a cartoon shaking backwards. And the concussion of the noise just through the tunnel so loud, like a little bit of dirt drops from the ceiling. Yeah, everybody's temporarily deafened for just a moment. And where's Benny? And let's see, Benny's right there. Where's Alavara? Are you guys where you are in the dungeon? I'm just curious where your pawns are. Your tokens. Okay.
Started playing like I was actually kind of closer up to here.
That's fine.
To help assist the horde, so I was right there when that happened.
Okay.
Alavar is keeping a small distance.
No, this is for Alavara then. And then Ralph, you can go ahead and make your roll in just a moment here. Or you can make your roll, but Alavara, as that echoes through and you see the bits of the ceiling coming down, you're like, you just hear it. Then you just kind of hear it. Just a little, it just sounded like a brief shuffling of stone on stone.
Shoot, I get an experience.
Oh, now it's
This is going swimmingly.
Mark XP.
Are you sure, Reaper, that you do not wish to help us with this lock? Clearly, we need all the help we can get.
And that's when this one right here, I'll draw your attention. Oops. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
This sarcophagi busts open, and this zombie-ish like creature just goes and stands straight up. And this sarcophagi over here,
It's amazing.
bursts open, and a creature comes up out of there.
There's a minion pop, like grab Cecil's hand real quick, like, tug on his sleeve. I think it's later. Can we play with them now? Shh. Grown-ups are talking.
And then, of course, the one on the bottom also has to open up. Olivar is suddenly surrounded by 3 of these. And also, I guess, Ralph, as you banged it, you also struck it wrong. Like it shifts a little bit, but and then these sarcophagi explode, and these things stand up. They look like zombies, but you're not sure. Alavara, you probably have the best, knowledge of undead overall. But that you can still make a discern realities roll or something like that if you want to identify them. They look like they're zombies, but as soon as you look at them, they glow up. Their eyes are glowing, a weirdish blue yellow, kind of like back and forth. It's not really green, but they look intelligent, and they look like they're semi-mummified. So somewhere between a zombie and a mummy. But that's all you have at the moment as they stand up.
So juicy mummies.
I'm definitely going to do that. Can we call it a death lore roll?
You tell me. What is that?
When you first encounter an important creature, location, or item that pertains to spirits, the undead, or the afterlife, you can ask the GM any one question about it. The GM will answer truthfully.
Gotcha. Yes.
Oh, there's actually no roll with that.
No, you just get to ask me a question, and I tell you, which is great. You can still do a discern realities after that for more info.
Yeah.
Oh, I have to. 1 second, guys.
No worries. Gives me time to come up with a good question.
That's helpful.
I mean,
Or I could just do a spout lore.
You get one question. I have to go up and help with the baby, so I'm going to leave you guys to entertain for a minute. So,
Oh no, I have to be entertaining now.
Yep.
Oh, no.
I will be right back as soon as I can.
let
No worries.
we entertain you.
I honestly don't know what to do to be entertaining.
Just keeping you.
Aw.
So,
Always look on the bright side of life.
No, this is death. This is the second verse.
That's the
These are-
third verse,
these are
though.
dead. These are
That's the
dead.
third
These are
verse.
dead.
That's the third verse. That's the third verse.
Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, it's your question to ask, but I mean,
It's a lot to ask.
like the first thing that comes to mind would be I would imagine be like, can we reason with them? Since he's already tilted his hand just a little bit.
He's insinuated that they are intelligent, yeah.
He did.
Yeah, that's where I was leaning.
Because then you could follow up with the spout lore to see what the actual
Yeah.
Italy they are.
Yeah. Because my my death lore actually tilts the spout lore about spirits or lands beyond the Black Gate. I roll wisdom instead of intelligence, which is a better roll.
Very nice.
Slightly. It's only one difference, but still.
One makes a big difference.
Sometimes.
I wish my +1 made a difference.
It helps when you roll more than a 5.
Oh,
Ouch.
it's just like
Gonna be one of
it was
those.
probably Cecil's mace causing the reverberation and like caused Ralph to flinch in his baseball swing.
Oh goodness, excuse me.
So yeah, I'm kind of the odd. Like I think I'm really in a weird spot in terms of a character because the Enchanter is a magic caster, kind of asterisk.
Utilitarian caster, yeah.
When it pertains to magic items, if I don't have magic items to analyze and or enchant, I'm kind of a potato. I have to resort to unga dunga tactics.
Well, that's like me. If I don't have undead to interact with, my spells are basically I can make a light.
Light on, light off, light on.
I got a mace, and I got these guys. Where did they go?
I have a violin.
Violin and a fine razor.
And a pair of silver razors. Silver-handled razors, I should say.
Let's see
The
here.
blades themselves are not silver.
But I've always got my minions to back us up if we need to. They're great, especially at the start. Wonderful.
Wonderful.
They're real people with feelings and emotions, like pleasing me.
Can
And
we make them explode?
they did not explode this time. He said they did not. I said they usually do.
Unfortunately, spontaneous combustion would be rather nice right now.
It's neither spontaneous nor combustion. It's more of
Now I'm just
magical kaboom.
Now I'm just thinking that like some of your minions are like tickers from Gears of War, just like click, 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 and just explode on people now.
No. They're completely harmless to be around unless you're one of them.
The whole time Cecil's hiding behind there, he's like Marvin the Martian. Where's the kaboom? There's supposed to be an earth-shattering kaboom.
They didn't blow up. It's amazing.
Something went wrong. They're still in one piece.
Well done, guys. I'm going to give you names sometime soon. I'm sure of it. Oh, one done.
Oh,
That
there goes
one's
thing 2.
Oh, that one's eating the other one. Never mind. No, they're mostly humanoid and bestial.
Ah, they're like puppy children.
Yeah.
With teeth.
Let's hope their
Like I
house
said,
broken.
puppy children.
I mean, I hope so. They run an inn.
Oh no. Oh no.
My brain has kept up the idea that they're very much like the female animals from the anime called Seton Academy, where they look just enough human to where you're like, that's a. Wait a minute, she's got ears. She's got ears on top of her head. What is that?
What is this?
I was trying to find a picture for at least a Discord. That's not ridiculous.
Sorry, folks on Twitch. If you want to see this kind of stuff, maybe you should join the Discord. Link down below.
Oh, I mentioned the name of the anime. It's a cute little anime. It's not got any much substance to it, but it's cute.
Oh, look, now
Imagine
my
if
internet connection is unstable.
Because we're all stable individuals.
You guys rock. Thank you.
Not sure how entertaining we were, but we entertained ourselves.
We gained over 5,000 views in 15 minutes.
And it all
in our
suddenly went
imaginations.
down when a wild Lucas appeared.
Get back, run, hide.
I'll just cut all that part out. Anyway, no, just kidding.
We'll fix it in post.
Fix it in post. All right. Well, hashtag dad life, but I'm back to tell you how dead you are. Oh, no. Ralph marked XP. Cecil marked XP.
Yep.
Okay. And what was, are you going to use your question, Alvaro, or did you have another thing in mind? What?
Yes, I'm going to use the question. And that question is, can they be bargained or reasoned with?
No.
Oh, see, why you gotta be mean?
I am just going by their description. I would say no. They look enraged. Intelligent and enraged.
Oh, we woke them up from their nap.
Sarcophagi
Woke
didn't
them
just...
up and had no coffee to give them.
I told you to let them rest.
You want
Look
the door
at
open
me.
or not?
I love this
Look
one.
at
What?
me, I'm not the one who missed the bloody lock.
I hit it. Just what?
I love this casual conversation when these undead are breaking out of tombs. Anyway, sorry.
There's what? I told you not to play with the coffins.
Here we go again. Here we go.
Do I have a moment to spout lore
Yep.
before we get into this?
Yeah, do it.
My death lore. So these are definitely spirits of a sort, right?
Well, they are undead for sure.
Right. Well, my death lore ability, when you spout lore about spirits or the lands beyond the Black Gate, I roll wisdom instead of intelligence.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
That'll pretty much probably always apply to anything like this.
I mark experience.
Oh, wow.
That is my best roll. That is my best score, and I rolled a 5.
Oh.
You almost crit failed. That was a 2 and a 1.
Oh, I should mention, we've made a house rule in this game that if you roll 2 1s, you crit fail, and more bad things happen. If you roll boxcars or 2 6s, you crit success, and extra things happen for you. Let me look at my handy-dandy little make a move. Oh, I already know what I'm going to do. Only time I get
Where's
to
the
roll.
experience on this sheet?
Very top.
It's very top next to to the right.
Oh,
of
there
your
it is.
nameplate. There you go.
I found it. Thank you.
Should now be a 2.
Yep. This is an experience.
We're starting off.
We're experiencing a lot tonight.
I mean, just
some more than others.
What worries me is it's my turn. It's
Hold on one moment.
everyone else had their fail. Now it's my turn.
I'm sorry, Alvaro. You take 7 points of damage.
Oh,
As you take a second to ponder, and they look at you, seem to know that you were trying to know them, and they all leap at you. And as their arms come down on various parts of your body, you feel the necrotic, flesh freezing, frozen damage as it starts to seep through your veins. Like one grabs you on this arm, one grabs you on this arm, and one grabs you across the waist. They don't like bite into you necessarily, but they just grab on and hold, and just this freezing cold soars through your body, and it's bad.
Bugger.
And suddenly, the casual conversation that was happening, it might continue, but suddenly the person who hired you three schmoes up on the north there is getting frozen, and the cold really bothered her anyway. So, yes.
I'm definitely stepping forward at this point.
Okay.
Brandishing my violin.
All right.
This time knowing what the heck I'm doing. I hope.
We'll find out.
Bardic knowledge.
Let's see.
What's happening with Benny Dot with this white violin?
Going to weave a bardic performance. I'm going to weave a performance into a spell.
Okay.
This time healing 1d8 damage, hopefully.
For Alvaro? All right.
On Alvara.
Very nice.
And let's see if I can do that. Let's go ahead and
Metabard.
go Bard.
Oh, he does it.
Oh.
Is there any other benefits that go along with this?
Let's see. Sadly, not right now.
Okay.
I believe it's when I get advanced moves when stuff starts getting added onto this.
Okay. Yep.
Yep.
So, but
Just
go ahead.
roll 1d8.
Yep. You can roll that right in the chat, or however you can best roll it.
Do I just put 1d8?
slash R.
Space 1d8. Enter. Well,
there's my fail for tonight. There's my...
It's better than rolling a 6 or less.
I did it. It doesn't look like it worked, but it still doesn't look like it worked. What is going on with this?
Benny.
This dungeon this magic is so wonky in this dungeon.
That's what we'll blame it on, yeah.
I'm sort of deaf in this ear now, thanks to that hit.
Yeah.
So while I'm sitting there screaming out Dans Macabre, suddenly it turns into Karl Orff's O Fortuna.
And it squeaks out. Alvaro, you feel like the frozenness recede just a slight bit. Unthaw, just a slight bit. But Benny, as you play, yeah, you're deaf. The magic feels weird. You can't push out the energy as you normally do.
Can't get my emotion out.
Nope. However, she is still grabbed by all three of these. Everybody else is seeing that. The violin plays on. What do you guys do now?
I'm playing the violin and I'm yelling at the other two. Get them off her!
I would like to do a thing.
I would. Yes, please tell me.
I am going to castigate the one that has me around the waist. Let me get to the right thing and roll it.
What is cast? Oh, there we go.
When you verbally rebuke an undead creature and spend 1 soul. So she is going to...
You deal damage to the target, ignoring your armor.
But yes.
And you rolled 10.
Yes, so she's going to basically ream it up one side and down the other through gritted teeth about how we came here to do no harm to them. I release you from this existence. So let me see. Choose 3. So I'm going to deal the damage, ignoring any armor.
Okay. There's what, 4 options there?
Yeah.
Place. I mean, not coming close to you.
So we're gonna choose all 3 except the discern realities question. So place a burden on them, limiting their supernatural abilities. And well, I guess it can't come any closer to me, but that's not exactly physically possible at the moment.
I think it's going to be repelled, like the one that was wrapped around you.
Yeah.
I'll say it's this one on the top right, and it's going to back off. So you can roll your damage against it. And it ignores armor, I
I'm
see.
gonna step away for just a sec.
Yep.
I will be right back.
Okay.
Okay.
You ever choose someone out so hard that it was literally begone thought?
Eat
Damage
yourself, fool.
right is D6.
All right. So you deal your damage.
One moment. I'm figuring out where everything is at on the sheet.
Oh, you're fine.
Ooh, 5 damage.
Nice. And you ignore armor, it said, right? So,
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
so what does it look like? I guess you're yelling at this thing, right?
Yes.
And you-
well, it's not yelling because
Sure.
her jaw is
Maybe
kind
you
of
can-
clenched against the cold and the pain.
Okay.
And so it's more spat through clenched teeth.
What's it look like when your magic destroys this thing?
It excuse me. It wreathes around her in this dark purple energy until it slams into the chest of this particular undead, forcing it back.
Perfect. Uh-oh. Once again, run out of hard drive space for my recordings. I'm in big trouble here.
Uh-oh.
I'll worry about it later. All right. And it does back, and it gets destroyed too. It falls apart. The taunt flesh that's left of it begins to shrivel and disappear, leaving and the ligaments dry up, and just the armor. There's like armor on these things. I should describe that. They look like they were almost soldiers. They have like this old iron breastplate and caps, and maybe even rusted swords or daggers that they don't care about, but are on them. And the armor starts to fall and slink off as all the flesh just melts away, and the bones become brittle and they collapse into bone dust with just rusty bits of armor breaking over top, and it's gone. You're still held by 2, but you rolled 10 plus, so no further bad things happen. And nice work. What do you guys do now?
Cecil is going to run up to attack the one behind the picture here, one closer to me visually. As he runs forward, his clothing shifts back from freaking like really fancy noble robes to his plate armor style as he kind of walks. Nothing seen, but it's definitely his clothing has changed into plate armor that's hovering around his skin as he goes for a bog standard hack and slash.
Look at you.
You deal damage to your enemy and avoid their attack. You may choose to do 1d6, but expose yourself to your attack. I will not expose myself to damage.
What?
I'm too
He doesn't
pretty.
like me.
Too pretty.
Too pretty.
I don't think that added my weapon. Do not have it equipped.
It looks like it's a straight D8 that you rolled.
Oh, yeah. It just
And you
doesn't
just
have
rolled 3
any
unless you have any
bonus.
bonuses that are supposed to be on there. And it's usually not a thing unless it's a specific weapon
No,
or
it's
something.
close, one-handed, forceful. So
Close, one-handed, forceful. Okay.
Yep.
I think with the forceful tag, you rolled. That means to knock it back, right?
I'm not sure.
I believe so. I'm going to.
I will.
I can't
search
remember what the forceful tag does.
I'm looking it up right now.
I should. Oh, I have my little GM compendium here. Lucas, why don't you use it?
Oh yeah, there we go. It's literally got a search function for this exact reason.
Force. It can knock an item back a pace, maybe even off their feet. So Cecil, maybe you haven't seen him act like this way, Alavara, because he's, and this is a good way to write new bonds too, right? Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
He's not acted this way yet. Minions have done everything up to this point, but suddenly Cecil comes out of left field and baseball bats this thing, and it knocks its grasp away from you and it lets go. It doesn't hurt it much, but it's enough to push it away from you, and now you only have one latched onto you. Well done, Cecil.
He whacks it and he's like, hands off the friends, fool.
Alavara looks almost shocked.
Don't get fresh with my friends, fool. Yeah. Anyway.
Like, what was his sash and all that fancy roby stuff is now like a shield and plate armor. He looks like he's actually seriously a person of some substance. So give him a minute, he'll fix that.
Whoops. I had a slip in my personality. All right. What do you guys do now?
So Ralph, seeing that his 3 companions are currently working the problem, still thinks that this door needs to get opened.
Okay.
I mean, you guys got him. Oliver made
Just
one
getting warmed
just
up.
literally just begone thought with a word and made it turn to ash. So, what's the worst that could be going on?
Exactly.
Absolutely.
So I am going to do a little bit of a compound move here, if permissible.
Tell me about it.
I'm going to change my rune on my staff from the mark of the sun to the mark of thunder,
Ooh.
which makes my light wink out, but instead gives my staff forceful.
Oh, okay.
Because as it impacts with the force of thunder.
I like that. Did you have to roll to do it, or is it just an auto thing?
I'm expending stock to do it, which is my special.
Your holds.
Yeah, so which
Like,
is my special resource in this case, which is 3 plus my wisdom.
Okay.
Modifier so I have 4. So this would bring me down to 2 stock because I had to use 1 to have Mark of the Sun in the first place.
So, what's it look like when Ralph changes an enchantment on his staff? Like, what do we see?
We watch him literally just pull out what looks like just kind of a more shimmery, like ShamWow rag, as he literally just wipes away the chalk mark on that big flat part of his staff. And then we watch him then pull I imagine this robe, this Geek Squad robe
It's got like a little handbook.
has a pocket protector, and he literally
It's all
pulls
types of chalk.
and he literally pulls out a different color chalk. In this case, it would be kind of like white and kind of sparkly. And then he inscribes a new rune on the staff in order to change this property.
Now the only light in here is the violet light from Alvara's.
Good thing we moved closer to her.
But Ralph.
All of us who moved closer, but Ralph didn't. He's still in the dark.
Ralph is, and you got a thunder stick now. So what do you do with that thunder stick?
I'm going to take said thunder stick, and I'm going to wind up for another baseball swing at this damn door.
Well, it can't get any worse.
Sounds like a plus strength roll to me.
Okay. So, but I'm hoping with the added emphasis of forceful, it'll blow this door off its hinges at this point.
We will see. I'm rooting for you.
Me too.
Ooh.
A 9.
A 9er. So you can roll the damage. That's a success with a twist or a complication. 3. That's good. So here's what happens. I'll give you the choice, because you can feel the magic just in general, which has been different, as I told you. Also the magic that's going on behind you and the stuff that's you got ahead of you. As you're swinging, you're just like, man, this could be a bad. If it connects just right, something really might explode. It won't be a minion. It'll be my staff, maybe.
Oh, there's still one there, standing there.
Okay, well, he might explode along with the staff. Welcome back, Benny.
I will give you a blanket statement right now. You're always authorized to kill a minion if it's funny. You, Lucas.
I imagine
okay.
that's probably how I know where the lock is. It's probably because his eyes are still glowing yellow.
That works for me.
He's still biting it, actually.
So you
He's still vigorously biting it.
realize that a full swing is going to be possibly bad for your staff. So your choice is to pull back a little bit, and you're going to finish the lock off, but the door is still going to be in place. if you hit it, if you pull back a little bit, your staff is fine. Or you can blow this door off its hinges, and it's done as an obstacle, but your staff gets a nice crack in it. It's not destroyed, it just is damaged.
Oh, I'll take the damage on the staff. I'll just fix it later.
Already. Well, describe what happens when this door goes bye-bye, Egon.
So literally, like after the whole, the light winks out on the staff, and we watch instead of it casting light, we can see the outline of it just kind of crackle a little bit with some white energy, and it's like Ralph then just batter swings in, aiming for the little pair of yellow eyes that he could see because as the minion was still chewing on the lock, and he's like, "Forward!" And as soon as he makes contact with his staff, not only do we hear the bong of metal on metal, and then iron giving away, but we also hear a giant crack of thunder, super loud, going off in the chamber as this entire door just essentially just boom. And I imagine that probably what's left of the minion goes with the door.
I think it was crouched, and it looks up at the lock and then turns back to you as the staff is coming right at its face, and it's like, "Meh?" And then just next shot, and then you just see a minion there that has
no blood, just falls over.
Yeah, as dumb as that just looked.
No dumber than it looked to me.
Yeah.
But yes, cartoon gimmicks of minion gone. Iron door blasted away. Thunder just rolls through the cavern.
I imagine the damage to my staff probably occurred on the flat plate that I normally have to scribe on. There's just a hairline crack there. It's just going to be a little bit more. It's going to be annoying. It's going to have to be something I fix later on, but it's still functional.
It can have a trickle-down effect of negativity eventually, and another shot like that might finish it off, so you need to be cautious at this point. However, good job. Door gone. 2 or 3 undead down. What happens now?
Got the door.
Well, the second undead wasn't down; it was just injured, right?
Oh, I'm sorry.
knocked it back.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yep, 1 undead down.
I just knocked it off of you.
Off kilter a little bit.
And thank you for that.
He's very serious. He just nods. He's oddly serious.
So the one still has you by the one arm, and you can feel the necrotic damage going to begin seeping back up again. The other one's like stumbled and just picks itself back up, and it looks this time at Cecil with rage as it kind of stands back up on its feet and points towards him, and
he points back with his mace.
And
what happens
Benny
next?
Begins to
Penny
play a healing song for Alavarg.
Sounds good.
So you were already
she
deaf.
Took a bunch of damage earlier, and I only healed 1 of that damage.
So you're gonna pick the song back up. I think maybe your song was cut off as that thunderous boom concussioned out from behind you as the door went flying, and you're like, you tell me. But
Another one.
Yeah.
Okay. G chord.
G, 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 G. This is the G. Okay, everybody, shut up for a minute.
Yeah. Stop exploding stuff.
There it is.
Even the monsters are going, okay, jeez.
Ah, God, well, wait a second. Fine.
All right, let's go ahead and roll.
Let Captain Special get his move off.
That's right. Roll that, I'm assuming plus. Ooh, bless you.
There's your experience for the night.
Oh, I sneeze. Roll.
Instead of your song, you instead start jamming out to "Devil Came Down to Georgia."
Mark an XP.
No.
Mark an XP, please.
Got it.
Oh
God.
Oh, that's funny.
Okay.
I think
Where
I'm gonna
is-
smash the zombie in front of me again.
Where's Benny? Okay, perfect.
I
right behind
knew
me.
it was.
It
So
was
I knew it
coming.
was coming.
So everybody's earning XP this way. This is brilliant. You guys may all level up to level 2 tonight. We'll see. keep this up.
Awesome, right?
Right?
You hear from the eastern passageway. Let me go back to this map here. So down this direction,
Mm-hmm.
you hear the sounds of more sarcophagi exploding open.
Lovely.
And like a breeze and some stone flakes come into the room. But then
That's what happens when I play Danse Macabre.
but Benny a little bit, maybe not, but more Ralph, who's just recovering from what he just did. You see this green light in the room ahead of you. Just it's hard to see everything, but it looks like it's coming from a couple different spots, and you hear the squishy sounds of if you took a bunch of flesh that had no bones or ligaments, but was more blob-like and could somehow move. And then you throw in that like the rattle of bones or organizing is the best thing I can say. And you hear these weird sounds together creeping out of the room ahead of you.
Oh, goody. We're going to get attacked by ground beef monsters.
Sure. Yeah, that's
That was not supposed to happen.
Dungeon World's a pisser. Sorry.
Cecil doesn't look back, but he sarcastically goes, "Everyone has performance issues."
Oh,
Well, if it lasts for more than 4 hours.
oh, jeez. Stop, you guys.
Can we please focus on the task at hand?
Thank you, Alvaro.
Indeed.
It was, and then it went far too much to the left.
I would like to cast a spell.
There we go.
Kill all of you.
With all of you.
I am casting Spook on the last. I still don't know which type of undead these are. That has a hold on me. Oh, hey, look at that!
Holy
Was that
crap!
boxcars?
I
No,
rolled
it was
12.
so close. It was so close to
5
boxcars.
plus 2.
Hmm.
Dang.
So that is Spook. The target is obviously the undead that still has a hold on me.
Mm-hmm.
Let me post the text of the spell. The object I would like to be. Can that be myself?
Choose a target you can see in nearby object. And a nearby object, the target is afraid of the object so long as you maintain the spell.
I'm hoping it decides to flee. I'm not banking on it, but I'm hoping.
Cannot target entities with less than animal intelligence. Well, good thing we know they're intelligent, right?
So, what's the first part that details? You spend 1 soul. The spell's other effects.
I on a 10 plus, I only choose 1 consequence, which do I want to?
Is that what you do? You even on a 10 plus, you choose.
1 consequence. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, on a 10 plus, I choose 1 on. I guess I didn't copy the full text of that, did I?
That's
On a 7 to 9, I choose 2.
wow. That's rough.
So a 10 plus, I only choose 1. I only have 1 soul left, so I think I'd rather keep that. You know, I'm gonna draw attention to myself or be put on the spot just to let the GM mess with me.
All right.
Alivara a little more.
And so it's supposed to basically you are the target of your own spell. The target is afraid, well, of an object on you. So
Yeah.
maybe what is it? Is it your dagger or something, or your clothing?
Actually, yeah, the dagger. The dagger is
Which makes
her
perfect sense.
sacrificial dagger. Yeah.
What's this dagger look like?
Oh Lord, I hadn't described that, had I? I hadn't even decided.
We can come back to it if you want, unless you.
Yeah, we'll come back to that.
So we
I
just
completely forgot about
we
that.
see it from the distance as you hold this thing up, and you're casting the spell, and maybe your indigo light is flashing around you, and this thing lets go. So the reaction is up to them. So it's flee, panic, beg, or fight. Okay. So it lets go and it steps back and it just looks at you and it actually narrows its eyes like, and it reaches behind and it actually pulls out the sword that they did not even care about before. And it's like, and it's like a two-handed, it's like a bastard sword, and it pulls this thing out. And then this rusty old blade suddenly begins to glow an icy bluish color, and the cold just emanates from it. And it ignores everyone else and just has a standoff with you. The other undead that was previously paying attention to you, then went to Cecil, is now turned back to you and drawn its weapon. And you all now hear the sounds from the Eastern Cavern as swords are drawn, and a gust of cold comes from the Eastern Cavern as more approach. But it did step away from you. It worked.
Yeah.
But now you are the target of their desire solely.
Yep.
Solely. Anyway. Bad Lucas. All right. Now what happens, guys? You guys are doing pretty good.
It's Cecil's go.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna smack the one next to me. Hoping for good luck here. We've got to keep going, right?
So you did 3 damage last time.
Oh, not so good.
You rolled
But I
8.
still get to do damage.
Roll your damage.
Come on, some money. 1 money.
Oh,
Oh, we are all doing so fantastic, everybody.
you come up for a good headshot, and you don't hit. You hit the helmet, and the helmet flies off, but otherwise do no damage to this thing. Where's my moves? Oh, right in front of me.
Show us your moves.
I have to look at their moves as I scrolled away from them. Sorry, one second.
Just don't roll 6. We can't do the hyper lethal ones yet.
Oh, it's this wrong system.
So, okay. Let me roll back to you.
Mm-hmm.
4 points of damage as you make contact with the helmet. Some of that frosty nature, like it swings its sword and knocks you back, and the frost, the icy cold just emanates off it. And you can feel the cold damage as it seeps up your arms, like the mace is almost impossible to hold onto. It becomes so cold.
Can I defy that danger?
This is just a result of the partial success.
Oh, my hit.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. It's just him on 790 your damage.
That's
The enemy
fine.
makes an attack against you. Yep.
Yep. So
However, the defy dangers will come in as you're like, I'm gonna plow
give an attack back.
Yeah, or you're doing some kind of crazy stunt or something like that, or there's danger coming at you. I might be like, defy danger, and you describe how you're going to defy it. Then I'll be like, all right, use it. Defy danger with your dex or your con or whatever.
Okay.
But yeah, so that was 4 returned, but otherwise still standing. It does not pay attention to you though.
Remove my HP.
Remember, if you have armor.
Oh, I do.
So there is armor reduction, I believe.
What is heavy plate? Ooh, I clicked it instead of opened it.
If you have any armor, you reduce the damage by whatever
2.
your armor score is.
So I take 2 damage.
Perfect.
All right. Since I'm kind of over here in the dark, but I can see a green glow from somewhere in this next room. Is that accurate, GM?
Yes.
And then I can also see the light coming off of aloe vera.
That is your only
Yeah,
light, so-
her
Oh,
her
go ahead.
lantern kind of hangs head level-ish.
Also, there is probably the glow of the swords of all the undead.
Are there any? That would probably require a move. I'm trying to be.
You just tell me what you want to do.
If I could see the glow,
Mm-hmm.
we know the chain is in here somewhere. I imagine it's probably the big green glowy thingy. This is either going to go very well or it's going to go very poorly. But
Yes.
But Ralph is not going to switch runes on his stuff. Instead, he is going to book it into the room, grab whatever the green thing is, and bring it back out. Literally going bad day, bad day, bad day, bad day, bad day, run away.
Wow.
And we're literally going to see world's fastest stumpy repairman.
Now this
He's like,
this is where Defy Danger sounds like to me comes in. And it would be Defy Danger with your dexterity for speed and quickness. And then I will reveal the room and tell you what happens after your roll. How about that? I might have to go back upstairs again in a minute, guys, so we'll see. My wife might have it, though. It's one of those nights.
oh, that's boxcars. That's boxcars because I have a +0.
Nice.
Oh.
Yes.
Way to make up for all those screw ups earlier.
The toaster repairman steals the first crit of the campaign.
He does a Speedy Gonzalez through the smashed open gates.
Okay, well, as you can see, this is the treasure room. It's hard to see on the overlay. But you can't, people in the audience can't see it because I can't scroll my screen up high, but there's actually 3 areas of glowing green. You know what? Maybe I'll go to, one second here. Maps and background. I'll just move them a little lower for sake of visual for everybody. And then let me go to, no, don't look at the rules at the Twitch. No, don't worry about it. There we go. So,
Excuse me.
That was my reaction too.
That was a hiccup.
it's a good one. Ralph, you run into this room, and it's like these portals on the ground are the 3 areas of the green glowing nature. And what you can see is these skeletons are standing on top of it. They've been formed, and what looks like a super long pinkish gray intestine has curled up the legs and through the arms and gathers in the rib cage and then up and comes through the mouth. I've been watching the strain, and it's a lot like the things that come out of the mouth there, like and they're just hanging out like giant tongues with mouths on them out of the mouth of the skull. And there's 3 of them, and they've just kind of like formed, and they're like, and their eyes are like piercing green glows, and they definitely look like they know what's up. But you run in, there's this pile of coin and a couple other items sitting there, and the Z pendant laid across the coins, and you were able to grab it and get back out of the room because of your crit roll. But you get an extra little bonus as well. Let me go down to my treasure. Whoops. Let me find my rooms, guys. 1 second. There is 3 different. There is a bag of coins spilling out, right? So you can basically grab this large book that's sitting there, this bag of coin, or this bow, and like a bow and arrow bow, not a staff. There's that in addition to the Z pendant laying there. I'll allow you to grab one of those things as well, or as a different choice, instead of grabbing an extra item, you can get an idea of what these things are. I'm going to give you that choice.
I will say I probably will have snagged a pouch of coins. I imagine it's probably stuck to the pendant, and that is the only reason. Because Ralph is literally playing fastest dwarf in the West right now. Just like, oop, oop, nope.
Alrighty.
Nope.
Running.
I'm off shift.
Yep. The pendant, the large pendant is dangled right across the opening of the bag, so you can push it in there, pick up the bag like your Santa Claus, and rush out of the room with the bag of coin, which I'll just give you the count is 220 coin, and the object of your quest. As you book back out of the room, getting to the place. Like these things just like look at you, grab it, and watch you as you go, and they just like they fail to react, but then they start to move, and they're going to be on your heels pretty soon as you come back out of the room with object and treasure in hand. Great work, by the way.
And I imagine I stumble right here. It's like, time to go, time to go, time to go.
What happens next?
Well, I am currently, Benny is currently too preoccupied with trying to keep Cecil and Alavara alive, though he's been failing miserably.
It happens. It's all right. What do you want to try again, or you got something else in mind?
He's gonna try it again.
You trying your healing magic? All right.
No, actually, he's not gonna do the healing magic this time.
Okay.
He is going to do the same thing, arcane art, where he has to make a performance check. But he's going to do the ability of the next time someone successfully
assist.
He's going to actually do the +4 forward to damage for Alavara. He's going to aim to do that.
Give her the ability to do more damage.
Yeah, so she can hopefully dispatch this thing quickly. Because it's clear, for some reason, healing magic's not working here.
It's definitely not. It's been dampened.
Just hoping we can get rid of them before they attack me again, because that hurt.
Oh,
Is that boxcars?
yes.
Almost. A 5 and a
Almost
6.
boxcars.
Almost
Oh, so
boxcars.
close.
Oh, 1 second, guys.
Yep.
So close to boxcars.
So Cecil turns his head too, and he's like, "What in the world? What are you doing over there? Help!
I am helping.
Not you, the midget man."
Oh, I forgot about the beard.
Time to go, time to go, time to go. Nope, nope.
We're trying to
nope,
go.
Nope.
What do you mean go? Did you see what's happening?
Go. Out, 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 out. We go.
Kind
out.
of stuck.
What are you meaning? Speak sense, man.
I have the thing. We gotta go.
Olivera's in danger. Run past her.
So
We're busy.
Mister, we're busy.
So I'm gonna do the hack and slash again on that one zombie that I've been attacking this whole time.
So you expertly give her the extra damage, and I might need to go up.
Which helps with my next move.
I might need to go upstairs, so I have to give you guys an option, a tough decision. Do we cut a little early this time, and we make up for it next time, or do you want to possibly wait 20, 30 minutes for me to come back? Because by then it'll be almost over. I apologize, but I have to go do dad stuff, I think, in a minute.
Okay. I'm
I don't mind if
stopping.
we cut early, yeah.
I
Okay.
don't mind if we.
I have detailed notes this time.
Okay.
It seems like we got the thing.
Now we just have to survive.
Yeah, it's
Just
called.
gotta survive getting
like,
out of here.
It's called the Stumpy comes up. He's going to probably grab Alavara. It's like, nope, we go. And pew off into the sunset.
Olivera still has the damage if she needs to use it, so definitely make a note of that.
Yeah, that's actually the top line of a new page in my notes.
And then I will give Cecil the final roll real quick to do something if you'd
Okay.
like, and then
I'm just going to defy hack and slash and fail.
Oh god.
mark experience. So what we're gonna do is, oh boy, you know, I'm just gonna hold on to that. You go up to swing into this thing, and so you start to hear the squishy,
So I still
fleshy.
get to do my damage? No, because I
No.
rolled below a 7.
Yep. You hear squishy, fleshy noises. You don't know if it's like speaking or moving or everything from the north cavern. And just as you swing at it, the one that was paying attention to Olivera turns back to you and catches your sword and is just looking eyes to eyes with you and back and forth, like close up like this. And then that's where we cut to black. So, yes, we're going to end a little early tonight. and I apologize, but I thank everybody for being awesome sports. We're gonna do shout outs and XP next time. We'll do XP first thing for this session, and then kick it back off again, and do a little bit more next time if we can arrange it. So, I'm Lucasgvariety. I thank you very much for joining me. Everybody else has places you should follow, but you can also just stop into the Discord and talk to us directly. Usually we do some shoutros and some ending things, but I'm gonna have to cut it right now. So, follow, like, subscribe. If you guys are okay with that, we'll come back and we'll do some more stuff next time. So I thank you all for being awesome, and